Okay, hey everybody, welcome back to Uncles in Law. We are uncles, and only one of us is in law. So, right? That's pretty good.
There you go.
That's right, Gus.
Yep. He's just barking at the world.
I mean, technically, well, I guess Gus has cousins. He's not an uncle yet, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
So soon, Gus, you'll be able to be an
Or
uncle.
ever,
Not soon, but
hopefully.
like eventually. Yeah, probably you'll won't make it to be an uncle. Actually, thinking about time and how that works with dogs. But hello, guys. I just wanted to say to you that I got here as fast as I could from Studio City. We talked about the Valley last week. I happened to be there recording today, and then I came back, and I had to, as soon as I got home, I had to get in the house and take my pants and turn them into shorts because too warm for pants. How are you guys doing?
Michael?
I'm like I don't know, maybe an hour from going Michael Douglas and falling down and just
Wow.
Yeah.
Have
well,
you
definitely stopped serving breakfast by now, so you shouldn't complain about that.
Have you undertaken an official measurement of backyard snowfall?
Too much. I mean, probably 15 inches, I'm guessing. You know, I was in the process of bragging to a couple other friends that the plow guy had already come twice.
No.
Our power stayed on. So I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
And then I got the email that school is canceled tomorrow. Already. So that my kids have now been off from the Friday before last week, all of last week, and now Monday and Tuesday of this week.
Wow. That is an epic amount of time off.
Yeah, it is.
Especially if you're doing it single-handed here,
as
Michael.
a single dad.
This is crazy.
That's almost Montgomery County, Maryland levels.
It's just, you know, and it's just like, come on, man.
What are they? How are they? I know your kids very well. I would assume, they don't mind being cooped up as long as they've got some.
So here's the deal with my kids.
Shit to do. Yeah.
When in a situation like this,
not
for about 85% of the time, they're great because, like you said, they are just on their iPads or watching YouTube, and whatever guilt I feel as a parent for having that be the situation has long since been resolved. The problem is that the other 15% of the time, they are just fighting with each other. Screaming, hitting, and like hard hitting. Not like hard hitting. Someone is crying, this, that, the other. And it's just those moments stacked on top of each other for over a week that just crush you. Yeah. So, look, all in all, like, has today as a single day been bad? No, it's been fine, actually. They're like, I really have not heard from them much, and I've been working all day.
Right. But like most things, including interest, compounding those.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's just, and not only that, but the forecast here is like for more snow on Wednesday, possibly more snow on Thursday and Friday, snow next Tuesday. It's just like, it's just enough already. It's just enough already. So yeah, if you see me in the street, waving around a long gun,
I don't know that we will because of whiteout conditions. Like, it feels like
that's
no
true.
one will see you do anything.
No one will see me do anything. It's just things are reaching their boiling point over here.
Yeah.
Over here. Which is, and we were talking last time about I was taking the kids skiing. That actually went fantastically. That went great. We had a great time. a great time. You know,
in
we
Vermont,
skied for 3
you had
days
a great
in
Vermont ski trip. That's amazing.
The snow was good. We stayed at the mountain. You know, look, as far skiing for me has a natural ceiling on how good it can be because it's still skiing. But it was good. The kids had a great time. You know, we got out of the house, but now we're just
in the house.
I'm getting live updates from my older sister, who doesn't just live in New York, but is the general counsel of the New York City Department of Education, and then my little sister, who's in East Boston. So apparently, New York City schools are open tomorrow.
Wide open tomorrow.
Wow.
Wide open in person.
Yep.
In person.
Whereas Boston, they may never have school again.
I saw that like the South Shore of Massachusetts and Rhode Island is getting over 30 inches of snow.
So Providence has broken its all-time single storm record. It's already up to 33.5 inches as of this afternoon, and more is expected before the storm ends tomorrow.
I mean, that's like a lot of fucking snow.
That's a lot of snow. So speaking of a lot of snow, we got like 3.5 inches here in DC. Which of course means that Maddie's school was closed today. But DCPS, to its credit, where Sydney goes to school, DCPS opened with a 2-hour delay. Although because Sydney usually goes to before care, that's really a 3-hour delay from our perspective. I think we talked about this, right? So all's fine. Everything is fine. It's Kevin Bacon in Animal House, right?
Where would you both prefer a delayed opening to no school?
Yes.
To no school, yes.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I mean, I generally think that delayed opening is kind of a crock in general, but compared to no school, absolutely.
It feels, but like, you get there and then you turn around and then you go home and then you're home for like 45 minutes to an hour.
I think, Matt, I think the question is what's the alternative? So like if the roads are passable and we can get them to like a pop-up camp, and they would both be in camp longer than they would be in school with the delayed opening, then I think it's a closer call. But if it's like they're home or they're in school for like 2/3 of a day, that's not a close call to me.
Yeah, me either. I mean, even with a 2-hour delay, my kids leave at 10:30. They get home at 4. That's still, look, that's that sounds
you can get some stuff done
right now.
You can get
I drove Maddie 20 minutes to a friend's house today so that she could be out of the house for 2.5 hours. I mean, it was like, better that than like her just being here the whole time bothering us.
Steve, let me get a plow update on your street. Has your street been taken care of?
So I will say again, to DC's credit, there was no ice this time. This was a heavy wet snow, which apparently is very easily plowable and clearable, because by the time we woke up this morning, our street was plowed and you could see blacktop.
Wow. Nice. That's pretty exciting.
All the more reason why I don't understand why the school was closed, but hey.
Michael, how many more times do you think your plow will come?
None. The snow is over. The snow is over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they came at like 9. Their truck got stuck at the bottom of the driveway.
Sure.
And I just said, thanks guys for coming. I'm of no use. I don't know what to tell you, but they got out. And then they came again at about 3. So, that's it.
Wow.
That's it. Yeah. No need to
and you're not going to see any more precipitation until Wednesday.
Well, now Wednesday. Yeah. Supposedly there's like 1 to 3 inches coming Wednesday.
God. This has been a brutal winter to observe from afar.
It's been a brutal winter. It's the worst winter I can remember since 2015. Is that right? 2015? Yeah. When I was leaving McKinsey, my last project was in Boston. So that was 2015. And I just remember every week going to Boston and there being over a foot of snow on the ground, fresh snow on the ground every week. Yeah.
Matt, how's the snow in LA?
Yeah, how's LA?
Well, let me tell you, it was a little warmer than I would have liked yesterday at Disneyland. It was 75, so obviously I had to my vest. I wore a golf vest. It was too much. I had to take that off. Henry had a great time. We did Disneyland again, guys. So I've been to Disneyland twice since we last recorded.
You are making an annual pass worth it.
That's it.
I genuinely, my goal is to get these quote unquote 11 visits that I need to get to have the pass quote unquote pay for itself. I want to get that taken care of before the end of May. I just want to knock it out so I have like a guilt-free summer when I don't want to go to Anaheim. It's gonna be it's a whole rigmarole, and it was like so dumb busy yesterday at the park. Like it was like no reservations available, so if you didn't have a reservation already, you couldn't even go to the park and buy a ticket and go in. It was just like cut off, so I guess that's at capacity. They were at capacity. And Henry and I had to go. We did his math. He takes a math class at UCLA on Sunday morning, so he did that. And then we went to, right after that, got in the car, drove to Anaheim because he was supposed to go to a birthday party yesterday that got canceled.
Because of the snow?
The kid got sick. Mm-hmm. So they canceled his birthday party on Friday. They let us know that the Sunday party was off. He went to a birthday party on Saturday night that was from 5 to 8 p.m.
Getting wild.
Henry.
A swimming party in Pasadena. Like they went to an aquatic center. And Dory took him to that because I had to record. I recorded at 4:00 that day. And then I was supposed to take him to the Sunday party. And then when it got canceled, I felt bad about the inequity there. So I was like, look, I'll take him to Disneyland if I can get a reservation. I managed to snag a reservation on Saturday for Sunday. We drove the hour to get there. We went into the park. Everything was like so packed. We both got a churro. We sat on a bench at Main Street and we watched everyone be crazy. Then we went to get lunch for him, which he got. He loves the Galactic Grill, which is essentially the Tomorrowland Terrace, but in Disneyland. And he loves it because he quote unquote loves their chicken tenders, which is like they're just generic chicken tenders.
They have a special recipe. They bread the chicken in person.
They're not.
It's the Cisco Plus.
Yes. I would argue they're some of the worst chicken tenders I've ever had personally, but he loves them. So we went there. I got, because it's Lent, everyone's got a fish on the menu. So they had a fish and chips happening that I went for, which I would say, I would say maybe it cracks the top 350, 375 I've ever had.
That is high praise.
Disneyland. Yeah, the food's it's never that good. Then we did Peter Pan. Then he wanted to do the Incredicoaster one more time, as in like we had done it on Tuesday. So we went over there. And he hit up the Incredicoaster. He loved it. He got to go upside down. We haven't recorded. I didn't tell you guys. On the Tuesday when we went, it was a particularly rainy. It was like the big rain we were having was just sort of simmering down, but it was like intermittent. So Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which is now what Splash Mountain was rethemed to, that had a 5-minute wait. It was essentially a walk-on. So he made us. He wanted to ride it 3 times in a row, and we on the second splashdown, I got so soaked. He also got soaked. So that was that. We were done with that. But on Tuesday, we rode 12 rides and had lunch.
Wow.
Because it was so dead. It was really fantastic. We were like, boom, 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 boom. We hit all the greats. He got his first Indiana Jones experience. He also, we had our first ride breakdown where he wasn't freaking out. Usually his anxiety manifests to a full panic attack when something happens like that, or a ride breakdown. And he has no control over if he's going to be able to. When I've asked him what he thinks is going to happen, he says that we'll never get off and he won't be able to eat food.
He'll die of starvation sitting on the ride.
He thinks it's going to be that situation. I've started showing him ride breakdowns on YouTube, just to sort of show him how excited the Disney fans get for the quote unquote in-show exit. That's what you call a ride breakdown in Disney Town. So he was like excited about Indiana Jones breaking down, and it broke down right at the last animatronic where he's hanging and the boulders coming down. So it was stopped for like 15, 20 minutes, but he was totally cool with it. And then the ride picked back up, and we went down the hill with the house lights still on. And we went to load off, and they were like, "Do you guys want to ride again?" And he's like, "Yeah." So we did it again, and then it broke down again. But he loved it, and it was his first time going on it because that's a 48-inch height requirement on that one. So he just hadn't been tall enough previously, and or the wait's been too long. Luckily, the rainy day it worked out, and I would say overall, it was like a great way to spend the day with Henry. Dory got to stay home and get a bunch of stuff done here that she needed to do. And then, I mean, my true regret is offering to take him again on Sunday, but I did it.
Karen was in Disney World a couple weeks ago on Super Bowl Sunday with some friends.
Yeah.
You know, just as one does. And Karen's report is that Super Bowl Sunday, especially starting in the late afternoon, is an amazing time to do the parks because they are completely empty, even if the weather's good.
That's interesting. Disneyland is not that effect. Disneyland has that reverse. We call it the Carmageddon effect, which was they were doing some crazy construction on the 405 one weekend, but the local news kept like talking about it. It was coming. Carmageddon. Right. The 405 was going to be shut down.
Wait, it wasn't just local news. It was national news.
Yeah, national news. That was a huge story.
It was going to be a disaster in Los Angeles. So everyone listened and heeded the advice. And then all the like sideline, what do you call them? TV reporters that are on location. I don't know what you would call them. But they're all out there just standing there as cars are whizzing by at normal speed because no one was out there.
Oh, that car's only going 54 miles an hour.
Yeah, so it's like you heat it. So the reverse Carmageddon is what happens at Disneyland on Super Bowl Sunday, which is everyone thinks it's going to be empty, so they go, and that makes it.
But the Super Bowl's also much earlier on the West Coast, right? So like
that's
you don't
true.
have that,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
right. Whereas Orlando, it's 6:30.
Prime time. Yeah.
So you have alluded to the fact that we are recording late. I should apologize to all 11 of our listeners, 3 of whom I think are Karen. That we're not. It's really not my fault. It's really the Supreme Court's fault. But it was my schedule that got messed up Friday.
I mean, I'd argue it was kind of your fault. It was kind of your fault. I remember you being very pro-tariff. I remember that. You were like, "This is great. This decision's going to come down. It's going to be a hoot."
President
big
Trump
news
is so
How
committed. He's so committed to the rule of law. I mean, like it just I don't even know what we're talking about here.
At this point, I call it committed to the bit. He's committed to the bit of being a caricature of a person who happens to be in charge of things.
That's exactly.
I actually had a question for you, Steve. Not specifically to the ruling.
Yeah.
But I noticed that it was a 6-3 ruling in favor of I guess the plaintiffs.
Yep, that's right.
The 3 was Kavanaugh, which fine. Yep. But obviously Justice
Devil's Triangle himself,
Justice
Kavanaugh.
Thomas and Justice Scalia. And my question was for you. Alito, not Scalia. Scalia's dead, right?
For 10 years.
Yes. Okay. So not Alito.
Not in our hearts.
Although Alito is a disciple of Scalia, right?
It's a long debate that I think we don't really need to get into on this G-rated podcast.
Yeah. My question for you was, is there a world where you could envision Justices Thomas and Alito ever ruling against Trump?
It is possible it's already happened on one of those many emergency applications that we had over the last year. I guess what I would say is I cannot see a case, Michael, in which you would ever have them ruling against Trump where any of the other justices didn't. Right. So like if there's a case that is so just ridiculously preposterous that it's 9-0, that could happen. The key to me, and I talk about this a lot in my classes, is what's much more interesting are the divides when they divide. Like when they're unanimous, you almost can't read anything into it. But no, I don't think there will ever be a case where Alito or Thomas votes for Trump or votes against Trump, and one of the other 7 votes for Trump.
Interesting. I found it also
it would never be like you're saying it would never be like an 8-1 or a 7-2
with like Kavanaugh and Gorsuch in dissent.
Got it. Okay.
No. Now, in non-Trump cases, there are weird things that can happen depending upon what the question is, because the justices all have their own idiosyncratic, preferences and approaches. So, like, you can get what the Supreme Court commentariat calls strange bedfellows, which strikes me as a really dark and ugly thing to think about, right? But not in the Trump cases. I don't think you'd ever see that there.
Well, I mean, it was 6-3.
Not that I have spreadsheets tracking all of this or anything.
No, I know you do. I'm sure you could look it up. It just was. I guess I should say, as a very casual observer of the Supreme Court, I was not surprised to see Thomas and Alito rule for, or what's the word proper? Rule for Trump. And then I was like, I would assume they have always ruled for Trump, notwithstanding the
so they're right. I mean, this is probably more info than anyone wants. They're like, I could think of cases where like Thomas splits, not like Trump cases, but like there was a big case a couple years ago, Michael, about like who can bring us a lawsuit against a credit reporting company, where it was 5-4, and it was the 3 Democratic appointees in dissent with Thomas. Like that happens. But no, I mean, the Trump cases, they are very, I mean, to me, the only interesting thing was that it was Kavanaugh in dissent and not Gorsuch. You don't often see them flip like that, but I don't know that it's that interesting.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that there's ever like a beat in chambers where they're like, look, here's the deal. I was totally going to go against this, but like, it's just going to look ridiculous if I go. Could you just flip for me, and then I'll write the dissent.
Like horse trading?
Yeah. Like, do you think there's any of that happens in the court?
So I will say 2 things that are going to sound inconsistent with each other. The first is the justices vehemently, and I mean vehemently, deny that this ever happens. The second is that just about nobody thinks it's a coincidence that in the big Obamacare case from 2012, Justices Kagan and Breyer flipped on part of the statute, on the part of the statute that would have expanded Medicaid, and joined the Republican appointees in voting to strike down that part of the statute once Chief Justice Roberts flipped and voted to uphold the individual mandate. So, they vehemently deny that it happens, but there's at least one very high-profile case where it might have happened.
And do you
so
remember...
you don't think like it? Oh, go ahead, Matt.
I was gonna say, do you remember what the big uproar was? What did President Obama say at the State of the Union about?
He was criticizing Citizens United.
Oh, so different. Right? It was a different ruling.
Yes, and then Justice Alito's like sitting there and mouthing like, "You lie."
Yes. Now that was crazy, right? For a president to say that about the court, the highest court.
I know, right? Like criticizing, substantively criticizing a decision.
You know what I want so badly? I want him to go to the State of the Union address tomorrow in a tan suit just to fully close the fuck you. I'm going to show up in a tan suit, and I'm going to melt the Supreme Court with my dementia-ridden brain.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why. So it used to be a tradition that the whole court would go to the State of the Union. And these days, it's like they draw lots to see who has to go, because it's become... The Supreme Court really does not like to, become a photo op.
They should do that like on Whatnot. They should each bid for a spot, and the wheel will spin. And it's like, who has to go and who doesn't have to go. And
who's the designated survivor tonight?
Right. If you have to go, you have to go. But if you don't have to go, you also get like a Cooper flag rookie, you know?
So, Chief Justice Roberts always goes because he's like the face of the institution. But yeah, there's been a decline in justice attendance at the State of the Union, which I know is why everybody wanted to listen to the three of us on this podcast, was to hear about attendance at the State of the Union.
I could see Amy Comey Barrett
listening to this podcast. Yeah, for sure.
Totally.
Liking to go. She seems like she likes to have a good time.
ACB, baby. Catholic on the bench. So look, here's it was a busy weekend for you, obviously, Steve. Like, I don't know what would happen in my world where I'd have to be like called in. I mean, like maybe a new trailer for a Star Trek or something like that, where they'd be like, "Oh, guys, I can't record. I got to go talk about this new Starfleet Academy trailer." So that's just sort of where our live seriousness splits completely. I talk about nonsense, and you talk about things that somehow matter. Anyway,
do they matter?
I mean, well, actually, you know what? From the POV of this executive branch, they do not matter.
That's right.
I think so. Well, actually, okay. Now, Steve, I'm gonna go into this this law thing. We're in this rabbit hole right now, and here's my question for you. Given everything we've seen so far from this administration, given the court's previous rulings, where they said, you know what, the president must have immunity in office when acting as the president, blah blah blah. Then this happens. And it, feels like a little tiny bit of a little buyback from the court for the thing they did earlier. But that said, Trump seemingly doesn't care. Is like, 15% now. We're gonna have a good time. What is the real what are the real consequences of this executive branch ignoring the Supreme Court's orders? Are there any actual consequences possible?
Yes. I will just say as a lawyer I'm resisting the premise of your question, which is that they are ignoring this order. Right? Saying that I can impose tariffs through a different statute is not ignoring the Supreme Court. It's trying to, squeeze through a different hole, which would produce more litigation. But, we've been lucky in all of American history that there really are no examples of a decision by the Supreme Court that a president just outright defied. The more interesting examples to me are why presidents have complied even when the rulings were catastrophic for them. So like in 1974, President Nixon turns over the Watergate tapes, which are deeply incriminating of President Nixon.
Sure. Yeah.
After the Supreme Court ordered him to. Why did he do it? Because he became persuaded that if he didn't turn over the tapes, what little political support he had left in the Senate, which is how he thought he was going to survive impeachment, would have collapsed. So, historically, Matt, it's been political pressure and political blowback that has been why presidents have followed the Supreme Court. This is why people like me worry about the Supreme Court's eroding popularity and eroding credibility, because a court that is less popular would not, I think, provoke quite as much public outcry from a president ignoring it, right? That's like the long-term thing that, people like me worry about.
And it seems that they seem to ignore Congress quite a bit. Look, it's just like the whole checks and balances things. It's been amazing to see how quickly a determined executive branch could erode all of them.
Yes. I think a couple things are true. One, I think a lot of things that used to be very strong norms have completely collapsed. Two, a lot of the stuff that historically kept the president from acting this way was the specter of Congress pushing back, and Congress right now is completely feckless. And three, Matt, I think, the executive branch is doing so much unlawful stuff at once that, like, there's almost like a you can't rule against everything we're doing mentality.
It's a flood the zone.
That's right. So I think it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, a little bit of column C. I will say it's exhausting as someone who, whose job it is to, teach and cover all of these things. But it's also, I think for anyone who reads my newsletter on a regular basis, which I think is none of my co-hosts, I think there's a lot of there's a lot of positives in how the courts have handled many, many, many of the Trump cases. It hasn't been enough from my perspective, but I think the courts have been doing far more to stand up for the rule of law over the last 13 months than almost any other institution in American life, and that to me is a good thing.
Sure. The DOJ, that was fun. That, it was fun while it lasted. So that was,
Well, hey, we finally did some law on uncles-in-law.
Yeah.
I blame Michael.
But wait, so does this mean that are there more rulings coming from the Supreme Court, or this was a one-off?
Nope. So the court is set to sit, as we're recording this on Monday. So we expect more rulings from the court Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, which, they'll probably mess some stuff up. But, the court sort of hands down rulings kind of at random. Like, we always get a little bit of notice when they're going to hand down a decision in a case that got the full, briefing and argument routine. But, like, if it's ruling on one of these emergency applications, those rulings can come literally at any time. My job covering the Supreme Court has really changed radically over the last 6-7 years, because it used to be that, like, you could set your clock by when the court would hand down decisions. And now it's become almost a year-round operation. Yay. Making bad law all the time.
Woof to that.
Indeed.
Have you guys what has happened in the last week? So we talked a little bit about your ski trip. You claimed full success on that ski trip.
Full success. Kids skied alone.
Wow, that is a success.
Yeah. Kids skied alone. We it was good.
No one was seriously injured.
No one was seriously injured. I was not seriously injured, which is most likely to happen. They both did some black diamonds without me.
Whoa.
I said, yeah. They said, can we do the black diamonds? I said, I'll meet you at the bottom. Here's an extra phone in case that doesn't happen.
Wow. That's very impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was good.
Steve, your weekend of children figure skating and volleyballing, how did that go?
That was also exhausting. Let's see. But also like Michael's ski palooza, no one got hurt, including me. So it was just. I mean, it was fine. Like, Maddie had a great time in her volleyball tournament. Sydney did well at her competition. It's just like so much. I don't know. It's not downtime. It's like so much like dead time when you're moving between places, when you're sort of waiting 15 or 20 minutes for something to start, and like you can't. My life is such that like I prefer compartmentalization. I prefer like, okay, I've got 2 hours to write right now. But the logistics all worked out. The competitions went well. I don't know.
How was Hershey, Pennsylvania?
Cold and wet. So Hershey has basically two big things going for it. One is Hershey Park, which was alas closed for the season, and one is Chocolate World, which was not closed for the season. So we actually, Karen and I split up. So I took Cindy up Saturday afternoon because she had to be there Saturday night because she had practice at 7 a.m. on Sunday for the competition. And then Maddie and Karen came up on Sunday. And then Karen stayed over with Maddie and Sydney after the competition Sunday night, and I drove back to DC. So Monday, Karen took the girls to Chocolate World. And apparently Chocolate World is like the world's greatest chocolate store. Or at least the world's greatest Hershey store. I mean, like, the Swiss might complain about the quality of the chocolates.
It's awful. But they do have a dark ride at the park, at not the park, but at Chocolate World, where you sit in a little Omnimover vehicle and it shows you the process of the factory making chocolate. Kind of like, I feel like it's loosely based on the Jurassic Park quote unquote ride in the movie where they get on and they learn about DNA. I feel like is loosely based on the Hershey Chocolate World sort of tour you can take by getting on a ride vehicle and seeing them make chocolate. And they have all the mascots there. The M&Ms are there. The M&Ms aren't there. The Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Man is there. the Hershey bar man. M&Ms are not them, right? That's Mars. Hershey does not own Mars, do they?
I don't know. I don't think so. But
did your children come back with any M&M stuff?
I don't recall. They came back with a lot of chocolate. I don't actually think any of it was M&Ms. There was some Reese's. They brought me back some peanut butter pie, peanut butter cup miniatures.
Ooh, that sounds delightful.
Which are actually quite good.
Yeah.
I am a Reese's maven, for lack of a better term. So I think it was. I mean, listen, if you're going to go to a random, place for a synchronized skating competition, you might as well have a pretty good chocolate store nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. You say that you're a Reese's man. Let me ask you this: what is your favorite form of Reese's? Because there is one correct answer to this. Just so you know.
I mean, I go back and forth on this, so I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble. I'm a big fan of the Take 5.
Okay. All right.
I'm a big fan of the Reese's Stick, but
let me rephrase this. Let me rephrase this in a way where I'm not going to get a lead. I'm not leading you to an answer. But I am going to rephrase it in its purest form. That is just peanut butter and chocolate. So no wafer bar in there. Nothing. I'm talking like the regular peanut butter cup, the Christmas tree, the Easter egg, the heart they make for the minis for Halloween. Of those, what is your favorite?
The OG, the original.
Oh, okay. The answer to me,
the actual right answer is Reese's Pieces.
But
whoa,
wait, that was not an option. Wait,
that's a hard candy shell. Get that out of here. That's a hard candy shell, Michael. You can't have that.
Reese's universe. That's in the Reese's.
But Matt,
universe.
have you had the Reese's Oreo crossover?
I have not. Is that delicious?
It is excellent. It is excellent. The Oreo flavored Reese's peanut butter cup is really quite good.
For me, you know what else is really good? Oh, sorry, I keep cutting you off. I got excited. What else is really good are the which are now available are the Easter Reese's peanut butter cups, because
I think the ratio of peanut butter to chocolate in those is
that's
wrong.
what I was going to say. It's like a thick one. So it's like
I love that.
It's like a double peanut butter.
To me, that's the answer.
Wrong.
It's the Easter egg.
Nope.
Yeah, those are good. I might have to get some of those.
First of all, you're bad Jews. Second of all, second of all, I know that's why I call you a bad Jew. But second of all, the ratio is wrong. It is too much peanut butter to chocolate. You got to get this is why tagalongs are the only Girl Scout cookie worth eating, because they get the chocolate to peanut butter ratio right.
Steve, I don't know if it's your 6'8" frame that needs more chocolate in there, but the peanut butter ratio on an egg is like they did it.
No,
they nailed
too much peanut butter. Too much
and
peanut butter. And
you want to take it next. You want to go to the next level with it. You put that in the freezer, and you grab one out of the freezer. Oh, that's a treat. That's a delectable treat. Get me a Reese's Easter egg. I would like Reese's to sponsor us.
But the Take 5 with the pretzels and the little bit of the crunchy wafer and a little bit of caramel, I think that's actually a pretty good Reese's.
Take 5 is a Reese's? I've never even.
Sure is.
I thought Take 5 was its own.
I might be confessing to a little bit of too much knowledge of Reese's right now, but
no, he's right. It's got pretzel bits in there too.
That's what I'm saying, y'all. Yeah.
The Take 5. It's got a little layer of caramel. It's got some.
Look at that.
It's got some peanut butter. You know what? I got to be honest with you. I don't think
the correct amount of peanut butter.
I don't think I've ever had a Reese's Take 5. I've had the regular Take 5 bar. I've never had the Reese's co-branded Take 5.
It was only co-branded or rebranded in 2019.
Wow. So Steve, you're a modern candy maven.
Yeah, you're a modern candy guy.
You guys have discovered my weakness, but that's okay.
You're an airport candy guy. You love a Hudson News trip.
Just I mean, those sugar rushes on the plane are not going to bring themselves.
That is fascinating. So if you're let's say you were at a chocolate, let's go Hudson News. You're in a Hudson News. You're buying one item of candy. What is it going to be?
I mean, so if I have a Reese's Sticks or a Take 5 option, I'm gravitating toward those.
That's interesting.
And it's funny you say that, because my move at the Hudson News is peanut butter M&Ms.
Yeah.
Peanut butter M&Ms, not peanut M&Ms.
No.
This is crazy.
I like peanut M&Ms, over like a regular M&M, but my favorite are the peanut butter M&Ms.
And you like Reese's
Wait, Matt, I have to ask, in what airport is the Hudson News located? Because my answer might depend.
JetBlue Terminal JFK.
I spend no time in the JetBlue Terminal in JFK, so I can't answer
Well,
that
then
question.
I'm sorry. You're not going to know.
No, because I was just flying back from Chicago, and in O'Hare it's always different because there are Garrett's popcorn stands everywhere, or Clark's. No, nuts on Clark.
Nuts on Clark. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say that doesn't. It needs to be a Hudson News situation. I can't have you at a special vendor. I need you to stick within the terms of this game.
How dare you eat? You get a treat that is local.
Yeah, get out of here with that. This is not what a Hudson News is about. Hudson News is not about locally sourced items.
Right. You walk into the same airport anywhere. You can buy the same $6 bottle of water in any airport anywhere in the country.
Yes. Oh, I got Henry a smart water at Disney's California Adventure. Guess how much the smart water cost?
$8.99.
What size? What size was how many ounces?
The regular tall bottle,
like the 20,
water.
The 20-ounce bottle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go $7.99.
It was $9.25.
Oof.
After tax.
How crazy is that? After tax. I was like, what? I literally was like, wait, what? 25? It's a bottle of water. But I had to do it.
It was even cheaper on the ski slopes.
Yeah, right?
Can't do that. Yeah.
Dasani I hate. So I don't, I'm not it tastes like salt water. It doesn't taste like water to me. So, and
it's also just out of a hose.
Right? Yeah.
So 46 cents an ounce.
God, that's twice a Monster Energy price at a grocery store. Have you guys tried Lando?
Are you still? I was just going to ask if you're still consuming a lot of Monster Energy, and I guess we have our answer there because you're holding
one
up.
People who are listening,
not like a ton, but like enough. But this is my newest kick is this is the Lando Norris flavor. F1 champion Lando Norris, the 2025 F1 champ, who someone finally beat Max Verstappen accidentally.
Who's apparently named after Lando Calrissian and Chuck Norris.
I mean, come on, pretty good names, right? He has his own flavor, which is not it. There's no description of the flavor on it. Like it literally just says Lando Norris. So you buy it, you don't know what you're getting. So if anyone's wondering, it's like apple. It's candy apple. So
didn't you once get like heart palpitations from drinking too many energy drinks?
Yes, I did. That was when I was the EKG was fine after the fact, guys. But that was when I was like, I don't know what's happening. It was an interesting time in my life. I remember it was in this office. I remember being in this office. Because I remembered getting the feeling, and I was like, "What is that? Is weird." And it's and this is a fun story. I'll tell you guys because you're my brothers-in-law. But it was I was home alone, so I was perusing the internet as
with Rosemary's Baby
when he's home alone, and I may have been on some adult-themed websites and. I had the moment.
This is not where I saw this story going.
Hey, look, guys, welcome to podcasting with Matt Myra. I started to feel. I was like, oh God, what is that? And then I was like convinced I was going to die, and I was like, do I bother?
Yeah, you gotta button up. You gotta button up your pants before that.
Guess who didn't? Okay. Guess who didn't do that? Me, because I was like, I'm gonna be dead anyway. If someone finds me, it's like whatever. I'm not embarrassed. It's it's a fact of life.
Oh Lord!
So I made that. I made the decision to like whatever, and then afterwards, Dory gets home and she's like, "What's going on?" I was like, I think I might be having a heart attack. I'm like, there's like a 50% chance. And we go, she takes me to urgent care. I go to urgent care and I'm like, she's like, well, the doctor's like, well, what have you had to drink today? And I was like, well, I think I've had 2 5-hour energies and 3 Monster Energies.
Is that bad?
Yeah, she's like, oh, that's what's happening. You've had way too much caffeine for a horse, let alone a human being. And it all settled down. We had, I had the EKG, everything was good. But to Michael's point, I used to drink. This is deceiving because this is like a week's worth. These three are like a week's worth of the Monster Energy. I just, my desk just stays back here, and I don't think to clean it until I think to clean it. I don't know if you could tell from the rest of my office. But I used to drink when I was working at Goldberg's, and we were shooting long, like 7 a.m. call time. Sometimes shooting till 8 o'clock at night. You do a 12, 13-hour day, sometimes 16 hours. I was probably knocking down 3 Monster Energies and like 2 Venti Americanos and 5-hour energy in the day just to sort of stay afloat. Part of that was the sleep apnea that we got taken care of. So now that I've gotten to that taken care of, I don't need nearly as much Monster Energy. So, but yeah, thank you for asking about my Monster Energy intake. Since I showed you a can of it. And telling the story. I'm glad I could take you down memory lane where I had heart palpitations and happened to be expressing myself. I always think of that guy that is in Pompeii, that guy that's clearly jerking off in Pompeii, his body. Like that guy's like the hero. He's my hero. That guy's my hero. He's like, I looks out the window. Oh fuck. It's erupted. Everyone's gonna die. I'm gonna keep doing
Rub
me.
one out.
He had a
literally and figuratively. It was really like tremendous. That guy should be celebrated. I don't know if we have figured out his name from any historical records that may have somehow survived Pompeii. I don't know if there's a hieroglyph somewhere that says this. I don't know what the Roman Empire was using to write at that point. I'm not a history guy. I'm just a dick joke guy, but he's a hero. That is a man who went above and beyond. He is who we should be celebrating. There should be a holiday for him. Who needs this President's Day? I want Pompeii Jerk Off Guy Day. I don't know what we'll call it.
Well, I think we have an episode title: Pompeii Jerk Off Guy Day.
Yeah.
I think that's what we should call this episode. Okay, so. We got all that. That was a fun. I'm sure. I want to come back to the I want to come back to the airport question for a second because I have a related question. Which is, have either of you flown Southwest since they destroyed everything that made Southwest? You mean issued seat numbers?
Yes.
I hold myself to very few standards in this life.
Flying Southwest is above
one of
them.
my standards is that I will not fly Southwest unless I absolutely have to.
Well, you're lucky to have never lived in Austin, where it's almost a necessity.
The last time I flew Southwest was 2014, maybe. Yeah,
it's been a long time for me too, and it usually is either a Burbank to Vegas for an hour, or a Burbank to SFO. It's one of those hour flights I'll do.
Yeah.
So but the problem for me is when I was in Austin, Austin, the airport's growing, but like Southwest is by far the biggest air operator out of Austin. And so Matt, to come see you guys, which, was a thing we used to do, right? We would fly Austin to Burbank. Hey, the only nonstop flight between Austin and National Airport, DC has 3 airports. The only one that goes to National Airport is Southwest. And so anyway, I was a Southwest person. We have a companion pass. I think last year, although not this year, A-list preferred. And this new system is so first of all, I hated it because I am a large person. I want to pick my seat. Right. And the worst thing about Southwest is that you can't. And so you have to play, even when you're like A-list preferred, even when you're like A20, you still have to play this who's ahead of me, who's going to take the 3 seats that have extra legroom. But now that they've done that, apparently it's totally gone to pot because that was the only thing that made Southwest different. And now it's like they're just another airline and everybody hates it.
I have enjoyed watching people.
Right.
Yeah, I have enjoyed watching people melt down on Twitter about it, as though it is just the most unconscionable thing that could possibly have ever happened to them.
There's a lot of social media drama about this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I like anything that just kind of introduces chaos into things that were previously mostly settled and seeing how people react. And this is
interesting.
Like low stakes chaos,
Yeah.
Like this is as low stakes as it gets.
So now, because guys, I need you to fill me in because I'm not heavily on social media anymore for my own brain health. What has been the sort of, for the dyed-in-the-wool Southwesters, what has been their main complaint?
So the principal objection, and Michael should correct me, as the principal objection is that the way they do boarding groups, right? That like all the overhead bins basically are full. Even though so the boarding groups are not tied to where on the plane your seat is. The boarding groups are tied to various other, like your status and other things. And so like, people who are like in row 3 and maybe even paid money to sit in row 3, but are in group 27, get on the plane and there's no overhead bin access except in the back of the plane. That has been, I think, the principal objection.
Yeah, that's been the main objection.
Here's a question for someone like myself who does not understand the order of operations for a Southwest boarding situation. How does the stuff up at row 3 fill up when people are not maybe sitting there yet? Is it are they like, just toss your stuff as soon as you get in, toss it as close as you can?
I think that's part of it, Matt. But also think about like so at the risk of nerding out for a second, right? So like row 3 has 6 seats, right? Presumably, the folks in the aisle are in an early group because they have status or they paid to get like aisle seat toward the front of the plane, and so they boarded in like group 2 and put their stuff up and put their stuff up right. And these are like Southwest old 737s. These are not the new huge overhead bin 737s. The folks who are in like the middle seats in row 3, right, who probably like got assigned to those seats. Right, and so they're in group 196. By the time they get on, all the people who like have the aisle seats and maybe some of the window seats in that part of the plane, they've all put their stuff up, and so they're all totally screwed.
Wow, I don't remember.
Right, whereas before under Southwest's old model, right, if you didn't if there wasn't space for your bag, you could choose to go farther back into the plane for your seat.
Right. Yeah. The boarding of a. So, okay, now here's the question. When you're currently booking a Southwest flight, do you get to choose your seat, or is it a situation where a seat is assigned?
Yes, but you have to pay for it. So you can pay to pick a seat. All this is a revenue grab, right? Especially Southwest trying to get like business customers to spend more money on Southwest.
Yeah.
So you can pay for your seat if you have status. You're allowed to you can roll the dice that there will be premium seats available like within 72 hours of the flight, and so you can sort of take a shot at sort of not getting a good seat and try to get a good seat for free. But I have like 2 Southwest flights coming up, and I just paid for the nice seats on both of them because I can't risk it at my size, at my 6'8"ness.
Now,
so you're not only part of the problem, you're part of the solution.
I mean, I don't know what I am. I'm just someone who now avoids Southwest like the plague.
You're two standard deviations from the mean. That's what you are.
That's right.
Because you're
that is what I am.
That much taller than everybody else.
In so many ways, I am 2 standard deviations from the mean. But I have like Michael, I have like 2 upcoming flights where like the Southwest nonstop was the only viable option, and I was like, I'll suck it up and do it. One of them is like Vegas to DC.
Yeah, I mean, I've lived in the New York metro area for 20 years.
Yeah, that's not Southwest at all.
Is a very, 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 very minor player here, so it's
except,
not even
except
something.
Except for Islip.
Well, Islip, I might as well drive to Boston and fly
from where you are. But I'm saying there are people like one of my best friends whose folks have a place on the island. Like the Islip is their airport.
Yeah, not West Hampton private.
So
what even are these places? What are you talking about?
Michael is insinuating that my friends folks are Hamptons people, and they are, but they're they're in the sort of wealthy Hamptons circle of not quite wealthy enough to have private jet.
Well, when Steve says my friend's parents live on the island, he's not. He doesn't mean like Jericho or like Great Neck.
Well, let me tell you. So here's what I heard over this. I was like, when you said it, I thought you said Iceland. So I was like, why would you fly to? I guess if you went to Boston, you could take Iceland Air to Reykjavik.
Yeah,
I guess you could do that, no problem. And then when you're like, they live on the island, I'm like, is that what we're calling Iceland now? The island? I couldn't make heads or tails of it. So I appreciate you guys
maybe in Icelandic. Yeah. So I spent. The problem is, you guys know I fly a fair amount for work, and I spend way too much time thinking about not just like flights, but like aircraft types, because I'm always trying to figure out like marginal improvements in seat comfort are actually meaningful to me.
Yep.
I think honestly my friend Ross is very similar, and he I believe is 6'6", and I feel like it's like when you're over 6'3", I feel like that then becomes part of your personality, where you know the layout of every plane configuration, Airbus, 737, 760, you're just like, okay, I can go there on that one.
Fuck the 767s. Avoid those like the plague.
Thank you, tall person. I appreciate the information. See, I like how you're concerned with the length of the seat. I'm the width. I need the width of the seat to be palatable for me, which is why I will never not sit in a window seat. I don't care what the situation is. I always go window. I believe I've said it on this podcast, but I've never peed on a plane. I've never been to the bathroom on a plane.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring that up, Matt. This is the thing I find strangest about you in the world.
No, I've never done it because I don't. I feel a great burden on those who have to sit around me as a giant man,
even if they're your family members, like even if you're sitting next to Henry and Dory.
Members. Yes, correct. Even if I'm sitting next to Henry and Dory, here's the deal I've made with everybody publicly. I lock eyes with you, and I try to send you a signal that goes, I know. I wouldn't want to sit next to me either, okay? And then I will put my stuff up, get into the window, tuck as close as I can to that bulkhead, and I don't move. Doesn't matter how far I'm flying. I have flown to Iceland. I have flown nonstop to London from fucking L.A., and I have not gone to the bathroom.
It's like a 12-hour flight.
Yeah, that's insane.
It sure was. I did it though. It's a fun feeling when you're like, I haven't. Like when we flew to Mexico over winter break, I was like, I got to the hotel and I went to go pee, and I was like, oh, I haven't peed since I was home in LA.
Matt, have you ever heard of Tycho Brahe?
No. Is this a disease I'm getting?
No, Tycho Brahe was like a super famous Danish scientist. I want to say he was an astronomer, although I might be making that part up. And if I'm not looking at Google. I'm just trying to do this from recollection. But if memory serves, Michael can check my work on this. But if memory serves, Tycho Brahe, Brahe, died because he was at an official dinner with like the king of Denmark or whatever, and was so terrified at offending the king, even though he had to pee, that he just sat there, and he wouldn't, sully himself. And so eventually his bladder exploded and he died.
No! All right, then he's also a personal hero. Him and Jerking Off Pompeii guy are my two heroes, because they well, I mean, it's interesting because there's the dichotomy of it for different reasons. One put self above all, and the other put those around him above all. And that's kind of where I am in life. I just I don't like to rock the boat. So I don't want to bother anybody if I can not, if I can help it. I don't like to be a bother to any person or thing.
Steve, you got that story right. It says, according to Wikipedia, likely what happened, according to modern medical assessment, was that he died likely from either a burst bladder, prostatic hypertrophy, acute prostatitis, or prostate cancer, which led to urinary retention, overflow incontinence, and uremia. There you go.
Wow.
Matt, please don't be Tycho Brahe.
No, look, I don't plan on being Tycho Brahe because I've never sat next to a king on an airplane. But I will say, I think of this a lot. Like when I think of remember the hold your Wii for a Wii contest, radio contest that somebody died because they like drowned themselves by drinking too much and not peeing.
I've never heard that.
Oh, okay. Here's the deal. KDND's morning rave show held a contest on January 12th, 2007. It was called Hold Your Wii for a Wii, where participants drank 8-ounce bottles of water every 15 minutes. Okay? Jennifer, 28 years old, complained of a headache, went home, and was found dead hours later from water intoxication. She essentially drowned from not weeing to get a Nintendo Wii. And I think about that when I get on planes.
That's a bad trade-off.
Yeah, well, here's what I say. I deliberately like don't drink anything on the plane. I don't drink anything on the way to the airport. If I can not take a meal, I won't. Like if I have the option to, I just want to act like an empty seat that's full of man.
I was going to say. Despite being the furthest thing from an empty seat.
Yes, that's right. I just want to act like an empty seat. So, like, I want to say to you guys, if you ever have to sit next to me on a plane, I'm not going anywhere. So don't worry about it. You're never going to have to get up. I'm going to try my best to stay off your armrest. It
Matt,
might not fully work.
I love you dearly. The only plane I've ever sitting next to you on is a
Could you imagine the three of us? Could you imagine the three of us having to sit in a 3-row seat?
Any situation where I'm the smallest person is a bad seat.
So the fun part for me, when we fly as a family of 4, every once in a while we end up on a 2-and-2 plane, which is great. But if it's a 3-and-3, we'll go 3-and-1, and Karen will take the opposite aisle, and I end up in the middle because the girls, one of our, Maddie is an aisle person and Sydney's a window person, so I get the fucking middle seat. Which if we're just flying up to Boston is fine. But like last summer when we went to meet Karen in London because she had done her 40th birthday trip to Paris, and then we met her in London afterwards, I was flying with the girls by myself. And we did not feel like springing even for like premium economy for our then 6 and 9-year-olds. So there I am in a middle seat on a 777, right? Like from Boston to London. Whee!
Yeah.
Luckily,
I've done the middle seat with the 2 kids on either side. It's not horrible.
It's not horrible, but you're sitting in a very, very particular position for a long period of time.
It's not good.
Yes.
I would almost rather sit in the middle than the aisle. Just because
you don't like being jostled.
I don't like the fact that my elbow is always going to be hit by something constantly. So I'd rather
for me it's the people who slam their bags into you and don't realize it.
Oh sure, yeah. That's always I never don't come through an airline aisle not apologizing as I'm walking.
Yeah, because you are mindful of others.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I have to go. I'm sorry. I don't know why I want to play it. I'm sorry. I got really spoiled when I was flying back and forth. Yeah, go ahead.
I was about to finish.
If you gotta wrap this up because we're already an hour in, I understand.
I was gonna say, speaking of having to go, it's 5:40, and it's like, and Maddie has volleyball practice in an hour, and we haven't had dinner yet. So
we'll get on that, okay? Look, before we do that though, we got to wrap it up. What are you looking forward to this coming week? And Michael, go.
Eventually, the kids, God willing, going back to school.
Very good. That's very understandable. Totally.
Steve?
This is nerdy, but I have my 3rd board meeting since I joined the board of my alma mater, Amherst, and it starts Thursday in Amherst, and assuming I can get to Western Massachusetts on Thursday, Amherst in the winter when it's blanketed in snow is pretty damn idyllic. So having a couple of days up there, where also maybe I'm not parenting, I'm looking forward to that.
That's where. That's why.
Not
James
that I don't
Taylor
love my kids.
Sings about it. You know what? That's why James Taylor sings about that turnpike being covered in
From
snow.
Stockbridge to Boston.
That's right. That is the song Dory sings to Henry every night. Did you know that?
Wow, sweet baby James.
So I used to sing when Cindy was younger. I used to sing "You've Got a Friend." We had a James Taylor thing going on every night.
Henry didn't know it was a real song. He was confused as to how I knew the words. Anyway, I would say, what am I most looking forward to this week? I am finally getting to play golf with a couple of my friends from the Goldbergs on Wednesday morning. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't played
Unless
golf
it snows.
Yeah, right. I haven't played golf since I took Henry and I had to carry his bag and my bag and it was raining. It was a bad time. So I'm excited about that.
We should talk. I want to hear about your. I want to hear about your golf game.
Golf.
I would like to. It's there's no golf here for God knows how long.
I feel like we should devote a future episode to you guys talking about golf and me making fun of you.
I can't wait. I'm happy. I'm happy. I don't know if you can tell. There's like golf clubs behind me. I got a mini driver right there and a 5-wood. I don't know when the last time is I used those two clubs, but they're there.
Are they left-handed?
They are indeed, my friend. They are indeed. If you need thousands of dollars in left-handed putters, you let me know. Thank you all for listening. Again, write in. I didn't even get to the email this week. We will get to it next week. unclesinlawpod@gmail.com.
Wait, did we get emails?
Listening. We have a couple, yeah. We will cover
that aren't from Dory
week.
And Karen.
Correct. Believe it or not, I do have at least 3 people that aren't them that have listened.
Wow,
amazing.
The only complaints, though, have come from Dory and Karen. Whatever, that's beside the point.
To be expected.
Next week, Karen is going to write a bio for each of us to read out loud verbatim. I'm going to make her do that.
I can't wait.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening. I'll see you Friday. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.